who do I want to buy from me? If I want more people to buy from me, if that's Oz where sales are up, what is the pathway, the yellow brick road? Now, here's another question. If this is my ideal customer, why aren't they buying from me now? Hey folks, this is Colin Richards. I'm president and founder of Lord & Richards, and I am honored to serve together with a team of investment advisors, financial advisors, and planners who are serving people just like you every single day. And we're doing that from a biblical point of view because we have key values that underpin everything that we do in terms of advice. And what we're talking about today in this episode is how to build the yellow brick road, the machine that I've been describing that'll help you get from here to where you want to go. Whether we're talking about retirement, whether we're talking about your business, we want to have a machine. In the retirement world, we call that a financial plan, a plan to achieve financial independence. In the business world, we call that a machine that will get you from point A to point B, that will remove the obstacles in between, right? Here's a great quotation that a recent mentoring session that I had with Keith Cunningham, whom I recommend, his books, his advice on business. He quoted another businessman called Howard Marks, a man who has written prolifically. He said this: "A house that can withstand a hurricane is indistinguishable from others until after the hurricane." Isn't that the truth? As you drive down Elm Street, you can't tell which one is impervious to the wind or to the water until there is a storm. What we want to do, whether in business or whether in your financial plan, is we want to design a machine that can withstand a hurricane. We want to set standards that render destruction of our financial plan intolerable. For example, we recently had a hurricane that impacted both retirees and business owners, and it was the pandemic, COVID. And in those years, when we were going through that, we learned that almost anything was possible, and it readjusted the standards that we need to apply in our investing and in our business to be able to withstand the hurricanes, because now we had a new definition of what we needed to withstand. So I'm going to give you a sample in business today to kind of learn to prompt yourself with great questions. These questions have served me well, and they were given to me by Keith Cunningham. Here it is. When you make the problem intolerable, then you really start to get on the road to solving the problem. Do not allow yourself to become complacent, fall asleep at the wheel. Don't trust systems. Build a machine to get you where you need to go. Once you identify what we call the problem that is, then make it intolerable. And let's say, maybe what you identify the problem that is, and you say, well, people aren't buying enough from me. Now, you got to be careful. That can also be just a symptom. But let's say you discover, here's the problem. I'm not getting enough sales, and I've dug it up, and that is the problem. Well, we want to go deeper. We want to go deeper to get the full breadth of that problem, okay? Because again, on the surface, it's a symptom. So here's the first question. Who do I want to buy from me? If I want more people to buy from me, if that's Oz where sales are up, what is the pathway, the yellow brick road? Well, I'm going to start by identifying who my ideal customer is. Spend a lot of time on this. We call this in my circles an avatar, right? Who are the people you're going to serve? I often speak on this radio program to retirees and pre-retirees, for example. That's a special market. I speak to business owners. I speak to young investors. But I don't speak to everybody. I can't help everybody. I'm starting off with people who have built a nest egg for their savings. So that's my avatar. That's my ideal customer. And then ask yourself this question: who else touches them, right? Who else is competing with me? Now, here's another question. If this is my ideal customer, why aren't they buying from me now? Why aren't the people that know about me buying, right? There might be a question about people not knowing about you. That might be a marketing problem. But why aren't the people that do know about you, that have some familiarity? Well, let me give you a couple of key points that you're going to have to address in the machine you build. Because people, number one, there's friction when you suggest change, right? I'm going to leave, my current dentist to go to you, for example, or my current lawyer or my handyman or whatever it is. There's friction, right? And they struggle maybe to see that the difference from moving to you is big enough to make the difference. We call that the difference that makes the difference. So your promise to the customer must encompass this reality and show why it's important to make the change, why they should be motivated to make the change, why inaction would be intolerable. And then secondly, there's some kind of risk in their mind that makes them freeze up. Maybe there's a lack of certainty of success. Your promises aren't all that sure. They don't ring true. However it is, you need to adjust your promise to reality, and then you got to make sure you can fulfill on that promise. But once you've done that, you need to overcome this mindset so that you demonstrate that you have truly minimized the risk in their mind, mitigated that risk, or eliminated it altogether. Here's another great question. If you're building your machine, your yellow brick road to Oz as a business owner, address the gains that your customers want and the pains they want to avoid. The gains on the one hand. We call this in finance the difference between greed and fear, right? Greed, the desire for more; fear, the concern of loss. In your business, what is the gain that the customer will achieve by working with you? Or what is the pain that they will avoid by working with you? That's what's going to need to happen. You're going to need to be able to effectively communicate that if somebody is going to become your customer. And here's another question, a great one, a follow-up to that. What must happen to keep them buying? Right now that they are my customer, how do I keep them as customer? Well, you're going to market, of course, to get the word out, but you got to go beyond marketing. You got to educate. Right? Because people love to be educated. They love to learn and grow. And if your business is helping them to grow, maybe you're in some type of agricultural business. Maybe you're working with farmers or ranchers. Are you educating? Are you helping that business owner become a better business owner? And here's another problem that needs to be addressed. Instead of falling in love with the products that you sell, fall in love with the clients and the outcomes that you achieve. So those are just a few questions to ask yourself as you build your own yellow brick road to Oz. And as a financial planner, we want to help you build that in your life so you can retire financially independent without worry. It just starts with a simple phone call. I would be delighted.